We love that, don't we? Well, welcome everybody to this restorative practice tonight. I'm so happy to have some faces here in front of me, and it's wonderful. It's wonderful to have a Sunday evening practice today. And even though this is a fully restorative practice, we do hold poses even if we're laying on blankets and things for quite a long time. So if at any time something's not feeling comfortable in your body, feel free to move. Feel free to move. You don't have to hold any posture. You can change anything. You can modify things however feels really good in your body. Sometimes for those of you that are in the studio and even out in the virtual world, I'll say, you might want a prop under a knee or an elbow, and all of a sudden you're like, I don't like that. Just don't listen to me. Don't listen to me. You are 100% in control of your practice. So this is your safe space and your mat and your lovely, like I said, restorative practice tonight. So let's go ahead and sit up nice and tall. And just find a few long, deep breaths. Do a little scan from the top of your head, down through the face, into the toes, just the whole body. And just check if you're holding any tension anywhere. If you're unsure, just tense that part of your body up and release. So think about that space between the eyebrows and soften that. Relax the jaw. If you're holding any tension in the jaw, maybe open the mouth really wide and let it go. Then I want you to take a really deep breath, really fill the lungs completely. And as you release that breath, bring your chin down towards your chest. So from here, go ahead and set your intention for your practice. Maybe a little goal for yourself or something you want to invite more of into your life, some positive aspect, maybe more happiness, more patience, more love. And go ahead and send a kind thought off to someone else, maybe someone that's been tugging at your mind lately. Just go ahead and send them a kind thought. And go ahead and lift the chin up, and we'll start with our pranayama, our breath work. Don't worry, I'll talk you right through it. We're going to do a 7 count inhale, a hold for 4, and an exhale for 8. So when you're ready, go ahead and exhale. Then inhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Take a nice deep breath in. And a big exhale out. Feel free to keep your eyes closed for this first part if you like. We're just going to draw our shoulders up towards our ears. Nice big circle. Bring those shoulder blades together and drop those shoulders down. Just finding some movement with the upper body, warming up those shoulders a little bit, taking care of them. And go ahead and switch direction. All right, and settle those shoulders down. We'll bring the chin down towards the chest. We're going to roll our left ear over towards the left shoulder. And then slowly and mindfully roll to the other side. And then just kind of find that pendulum from one side to the other. Now, if you know you don't have any neck issues and if it feels good to you, go ahead and roll all the way around. You can go ahead and bring the head to the back, around to the front. Maybe after you've done a couple circles, switching direction here. Go ahead and find the center. And then we're going to get rid of our bolster or whatever we might be sitting on. Keep that Sukhasana easy pose, cross-legged posture if that feels good. If you want to try to switch it, you can. I know when I do, my knee can, oh, it's actually pretty good today. Good job. Good job, knee. It doesn't hurt today. So I'm going to switch that cross. Yay. Little things, little positive things. So we're just going to go side to side. So go ahead, place the left hand down onto the floor, and we're going to reach the right hand up towards the ceiling and up and over. Really drop that hip down into the floor and think about that space between the hip and the rib cage. Lengthen there. Big breath in. And then as you exhale, bring that hand down. Same thing on the other side. We'll hold it a little bit to begin with. So reach over, press that hip down, big breath in, and then we'll switch, exhale down. So start to move with your own breath. So inhale, rising up, and then exhale, floating our hand down. So your breath might be longer or shorter than mine. There's no wrong answer here. Just find that reach and that rest. Beautiful. Do a couple more. We're going to take care of our legs a little. So when you've finished up on each side, we're going to go ahead and bring those legs out in front of us. Snap, crackle, pop, right? Go ahead and shake it out. And of course, right? It's my thing, is to rub down the legs, right? So go ahead. Inner thighs, don't forget about the inner thighs. Don't forget about the top of the legs, the outer thighs. Rub into those hips. Don't forget then around the knees. And of course, even down into the shins and the calves. And if your arms aren't long enough to get to the shins and calves, guess what? You bring the shins and calves to you. You just bend those legs and bring them up. All right, so we're gonna find a forward fold to get a nice stretch and start us kind of on our journey for the rest of our practice. So sitting up nice and tall. First, we'll lead with the chin with that nice flat back, and we'll kind of check in where we feel our tension today. Mine is definitely in my lower back, so just find your breath into that. And then whenever you like, or if you'd like, you can look towards your knees and you can start to round the back, bringing the chest down over the thighs. If your arms are long enough, you can bring your hands down to your toes and maybe pull the toes back. Or maybe after a while, you can always bend the knees and get the toes close enough to do this. All right, come on up. We're gonna come to tabletop, all four. We're gonna take care of some hips, find a little twist. So coming to our tabletop, all fours, just find that nice gentle hip circle around the wrists and back towards the heels. If it feels good to you, you like this, you can tuck your toes under as well. This is a stretch that it's something to work up to. Because when I first started doing, I called it icky toe stretch because it felt icky, right? When tucking my toes under. And then after a while, it really feels good once you do this practice. And then we'll switch direction. And what it is preventing, not if you've already got it, sorry, but if it prevents plantar fasciitis, if you've ever had that lovely little injury, it's not a fun one. So this will prevent that. All right, and we're gonna find our twist today. So coming to our tabletop, all fours, we're gonna find a nice little puppy pose twist. So go ahead and lift, it doesn't matter, either side, lift the hand up. Go ahead and rotate that wrist a little bit, one direction and the other. Maybe close and open the hand. And then when you're ready, slide that hand through, bring the shoulder down, bring your ear down, switch sides. Ear down to the mat. With that other hand, you can extend it out in front of you, or you can bring that hand, the back of the hand to the lower back, or even reach around for the upper thigh for a little bind. So while you're here, really check in with the breath. Especially in any yoga pose, your breath should be, nice and easy, unless you're doing something where you're exerting. But here we're not. Here we are just finding a stretch. So if your breath is halting, that means you need to come out of that twist or that stretch. Taking a few more breaths here. When you're ready, start to unwind. So go ahead and slide back towards our tabletop. And then we'll go to the other side. So same thing, go ahead, lift the hand up, rotating that wrist, open the hand, close the hand. Find what feels good. And then same thing, we'll reach down, thread the needle, shoulder comes down, ear comes down. Extend that arm out, see how that feels. Maybe stay here or find that bind with the back of the hand to the lower back or reaching around where you can find that little bind. Again, being aware of the breath. I will remind you that throughout tonight's practice, to be aware of the breath and check in with how that's feeling. Couple more moments here. All right, and when you're ready, slow, 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 mindful, we'll start to unwind back to our center. If you want to find a little organic movement with the spine, go ahead and do so. So if you haven't done a bunch of cat-cows today, you can do cat-cow. If you've done a bunch of cat-cows or this movement in this direction, maybe choose bringing the shoulder to the hip, a little different direction. All right, so our first pose tonight is going to be a supported bridge pose. So what that is going to look like is you guys can come to seated. I'll kind of show you what that's going to look like. You can use a bolster or if you're at home, you can use some pillows. It's just to elevate the hips up a little bit. So you can just literally sit on our bolster, and we're just going to bring our back down. We're actually going to sit on the edge of the bolster and come down. And that's it. For the arms, I like doing a nice goal post. For the knees, because they can get tired if they're just sitting straight up towards the ceiling, you can bring them out towards the edges of the mat and let them fall in towards one another. This is a little bit of a back bend, so right when you get here, check in to see if it feels good to you. If you've got a bolster that's too high or not high enough, go ahead and raise a hand and let me know. Those of you at home, you can always add a blanket or on top as well. Check in with the head and neck position to see if that's feeling okay, because you can always put a blanket underneath the head for a little support as well. So in our restorative practice, I like to give little talks, little bits of yoga wisdom. And you don't have to listen at all. So if I say something and you don't quite catch what I said, that just means that message wasn't for you today. So tonight we're starting out talking a little bit about Svadhyaya. If you're wondering what that is, it's one just small piece of the limbs of yoga. Who are you? Who are you? This is interesting to contemplate. You are not your job. You are not your family. You are not your personality or any label that anyone has ever given you. Not even a label that you've given yourself. Svadhyaya is a niyama, or that piece of the yoga's 8-limbed path. Svadhyaya asks you to look deeply into your soul and see who you are, who you truly are. This sounds like a very daunting task. But in reality, it's just asking you to cut out all the distractions, to be aware of your thoughts, your attitudes, and your actions when you are in that place with no distraction. How do you find that place? Maybe you do yoga. Maybe you chant. Maybe you meditate. Or simply take a walk, especially if it's out in nature. Or sit down in a park. Or watch a sunrise or sunset. Find some moments of quiet and stillness to hear yourself think. You don't have to seek who you are. It will come to you. You'll notice when the body relaxes and you connect with your true self. Mind starts to wander to anything other than how you're feeling right now. Just bring those thoughts back to the breath. Bring your thoughts back and be aware of that slow and even inhale and exhale. Just a few more moments here. Just remind yourself to move very slowly, even slower than you really want to move. Whenever you are ready, you can either just roll to the side or sit up or lift the hips and remove the bolster. Just find your way to coming out of that posture and eventually sitting up again. Right, our next pose is actually a two-sided one-sided pose. So we'll have everything set up and we're just going to switch to the other side when it's time to move. We're doing deer pose. So we have a nice big bolster in front of us. You may even use two, depending on how you feel. So literally this is just kind of laying on the side. So what you can do is you're going to lay down. The face is going to face the same direction of your knees, but remember this is a nice restorative practice, so we try to get everything nice and stacked up. So you might want a blanket for the head, so a little higher part there, and then you may want a smaller bolster between the knees. And now when we're starting to get into these positions of, we've been still for a while, check in with how warm you are, because you might want a blanket to cover you. Even if you don't want the blanket completely covering you, maybe you want it just on your feet. So check in how your body temperature is right now. And then you can lay down and just have your head turned to one side and find that nice, easy kind of twist position here. Find whatever you need for props. Again, when you settle in, take a little scan of the body, making sure that everything is soft and relaxed and comfortable. Even with these first few breaths, when you get there, just allow your body to sink in a little deeper. And again, if the mind starts to wander to outside tasks of the world, just reel your thoughts back into your breath. Be aware of it. How the breath feels, how the air tastes. So moving on with our talk tonight. Have you ever felt overwhelmed? Or have you maybe felt lost or at a creative block? Have you had a feeling like everyone else knows what they're doing and you don't even know where to start? This feeling of being overwhelmed or lost or having so many things before you. Maybe a little blockage in the crown chakra at the top of your head. It's a little energy center there. This crown chakra is the center of your spirit. Crown chakra is a bridge to your inner wisdom, and it's a connection to a higher guidance. The universe always has energy to provide you. It's always there to be your guide if you allow it. But sometimes we stand in our own way. Sometimes we stand in our own way of our innate wisdom. How do you reconnect with your crown chakra? much like Svadhyaya that we spoke of earlier. You just need to find some quiet time to connect with yourself. But when you finally find yourself in that connected state, you become mindful of the unnecessary things or distractions that are creating this overwhelming feeling for you. Think to yourself, do I need a break from social media? Can I ask for help with things for a while until I get back on track? Are there people asking too much of me? Am I willing to say no? Be aware of what is serving your path and what is not. Before you move, I'll remind you to move slowly and mindfully. Whenever you are ready, you can gently move to the other side. So maybe you'll lift up back into a little bit of a tabletop position and just bring the knees to the other side. When you're ready, just bring the body back down, draping it over your bolster. Again, settling in, checking in, making sure everything feels comfortable, relaxed. This will be our final posture before our Shavasana tonight. So we're finally going to speak about Anahata. Anahata is our heart chakra. Your heart is open to new possibilities. When we are excited, hopeful, and expressive, it comes from our open heart. This feeling of joy and love allows you to see people for their greatest potential, including yourself. When you open your heart, you allow it to guide you in the right direction. Trust the journey of your heart. It may not always make sense to the mind, but this is because the mind isn't aware of all the possibilities that it has not yet envisioned. Just a few more moments here. Again, reminding you to move very slowly and mindfully. Whenever you are ready, you can start to come back up into a seated position, and then we're going to move to our final shavasana. So if you're new to this practice, this is where we use a lot of the props, right? We build our own easy chair. So I don't have the biggest bolster, but I like some of the really big ones under here. Or pillow along the spine, one underneath the knees. And then we have once you lay down, unless you'll notice, if this is too high or if it's too open to the chest, you can also have smaller bolsters at your side. Other things you want to check in on are obviously the head and neck, so you might need a small blanket underneath the head. Yeah, and then checking in with the warmth of the body. Even if you don't want that total coverage, a nice thing to do is to have a blanket across the hips for a little bit of weight here. So find what position feels good to you. Again, just checking in, making sure everything is soft and comfortable. For this final practice of Shavasana, we'll just do a little guided check-in before we find that peace and quiet. So we'll just do a little scan, starting at the top of the head. Just bring your awareness there. Find some softness through the scalp. Let the ears lower. Let the tension go away from between the eyebrows. Allow the teeth to softly part. Let the throat calm, open. softness across the collarbone, down through the shoulders, the upper arm, the lower arm, the wrist, the hands, thumb, pointer finger, tall finger, ring finger, and the pinky. Let the entire arm be soft and heavy and relaxed. Bring the awareness to the chest, around the heart, around the rib cage, down the spine, wrapping around into the belly. Each breath allowing the body to relax deeper and deeper. Bring the awareness to the hips, thighs, shins, back of the legs, knee, the ankle, the foot, the toes, the bottom of the foot. Everything is soft, warm, and at peace. Whole body is relaxed. Whole body is safe. Whole body is soft Start to bring the awareness back to your breath. I invite you to breathe a little more deeply. Start to bring some movement into the body. Maybe wiggling your fingers, moving your toes, or gently rocking the head from side to side. Feel free to stay here on your back for a few more moments. Go ahead and turn to a side, whichever might be calling to you this evening. When you are ready, you can start to make your way back up to a seated position. And take your time, move slowly. Whenever you arrive in your seated position, I invite you to bring your hands at heart center if you wish. each and every one of you for joining me in tonight's practice. I hope you found a little of whatever you were looking for. The light and teacher in me honors the light and teacher in each one of you. Namaste. Enjoy the rest of your evening, virtual world. Take care, everybody.